Hello, good morning. Sorry for the long intro there. I was still making coffee. So, let's see here. How are we today? Today is Tuesday, and you're with Coffee with Wayne. All the real estate wonderfulness and all that jazz, just random things I like to talk about. Let me just log in real quick here to my other devices and make sure we're all streaming before I start going on and on too much about things. There we go. Okay, it looks like it's working. So good morning. Thanks so much for being here. So it's another week. We are preparing for a little storm here in Florida, and I wish I could share my screen and I could show you. I need to figure out how I can do that on this contraption. Let me just take a little sip here. Hey, good morning, Randy. Hey, Holly, good morning. I see you got out to the beach the other day. Good for you, girlfriend. Okay, so we're preparing for a little storm here, and it's going to be the first one I think we've kind of had since my mom's been here, and it really is not, right now, it's not coming toward us. It's going the other way, but again, I haven't looked yet this morning. So I'll do that in just a second. But, you know, we in Florida don't worry too much about these storms. We get them all the time. So we are hoping for the best. Now, if it's going to be Category 3 or higher, if it hits me, we're gonna go. We're gonna go stay in a hotel somewhere because I just don't have time for that. But anything under a Category 3, it's just a reason for a party here in Florida. Really, it is, honestly. So. But how does that affect real estate? Yeah, darn tootin' it does affect real estate. How does it affect real estate? If you've seen my reel before, I talk about the no bind box, and that is when a storm comes into that area around Florida and the East Coast, insurances, they will not bind new policies. So if you're waiting to close and hoping to close this week, fingers crossed that this thing doesn't turn into a hurricane. I don't know. I'm probably talking behind. Let me just look real quick while we're on here and see what it's doing this morning, because I have not even turned my TV on yet this morning. Let's see. It's still, it strengthened into a Category 1, it says. But it's looking like it's going toward Tallahassee and not toward us. We are in the Panhandle, so we're over by, we're on the New Orleans side of Florida. So it looks like it did turn into a hurricane, so I'm going to have to check on all my contracts and see what that is doing to us. By tomorrow at 2 a.m., it's meant to be a Category 3, y'all. But then it's meant to be, by 2 p.m., a Category 1, and then just a storm again on Thursday. here's Wayne the weatherman for you, right? I'm just looking at the hurricane map here and the hurricane tracker. So Idalia is what she's called. Jim Cantori is in Cedar Key. Sorry about it, Cedar Key. We have a big joke here. If Jim Cantori comes to your town, you're in trouble. So good thing he's not in Pensacola is all I can say. I hope everybody rides the storm out safely, but I'm glad he's not here. So it looks like we're going to get just mainly the wind bands and some rain, but it looks like it's cutting out. It's going, we're going to get some stuff on the Gulf front, but it doesn't look like we're going to get much else unless it tilts. So let's hope it doesn't tilt. And then there's Hurricane Franklin out there on the East Coast. So y'all, they've saved it up till the very end for our hurricane bang this year. So thankfully it'll be over soon. But hey, good morning, Margaret. Hope y'all are doing well over there. You might get a little more wind and rain than we do. The one thing that's nice about a storm being out there is I went outside this morning and it's beautiful. Walked the dogs. I didn't break a sweat. It was really nice. So yes, if you're currently under contract and you're planning to close this week or next, just cross your fingers everything dissipates and we don't go on to they don't activate that no bind box and shut everything down. I'll have to check this morning with my contracts I have going, because you have to bind your insurance or you can't close. That's if you don't have a mortgage, you can, but you don't want to, because you always want to have insurance, because that's a big investment you're making and you don't want to lose it because you didn't get your insurance. I've been working on some things, y'all. I stress myself out all the time. I have some deals going that are, let's just say, challenging. So I've been working on those, trying to get that done. But I've also been trying to work on, this Thursday is my quarterly team training. And we've got to talk about what our goals are for 2024. Can you believe it? It's almost 2024. We've got to talk about those goals. We've also got to talk about how to survive in this current market. Y'all, the interest rates have gone up to 7. I had a client the other day at 7.5. Will they come down? Eventually they will, but they're not suggesting they're going to come down anytime soon, probably next year. And so I've been looking at projection models and what does it mean to you if you sell your home now or buy your home now versus in a year or two from now. And I follow this guy on, I don't know, one of the social channels, and he did a really good side-by-side comparison, and the difference in the monthly payment is very minimum if you wait versus now. But if you wait versus now, you could be sitting on equity in 2 years versus a $300 lower payment and no equity in 2 years. So I'm going to work on maybe trying to do a little video on that to post out there for people. I've been working on my VA scripting to help people just better understand, not just buyers, but help agents understand how to work with a VA loan. Make sure, if you're my veteran friends out there watching this, make sure when you get a lender too, but when you get an agent, make sure you ask them if they have worked with VA loans before and if they understand how a VA loan works. I'm at the point now, I get a little testy, I get a little salty when I hear an agent go, well, that home won't pass a VA inspection. If you've watched any of my talks, you know that is one of my biggest pet peeves. There is no such thing as a VA inspection, period. There's a home inspection and there's an appraisal, just like on every other home. Does the VA have guidelines? Yes, they do. The home has to be safe, sound, free of leaks, has to have working heat, has to have updated or working electric, all the appliances have to work, the plumbing has to work, the house has to be habitable. Can it need a little bit of work? Yes, it can. Can it have a full, need a full remodel? There are certain VA loans, a VA renovation loan, you can do that with. However, it is better if you don't do that on your first go out, just because those are a little more complicated. Some lenders won't do them, but they are available. What I always advise, if it's your first time using your VA loan, let's find you a house that only needs some cosmetic work and get you in it, build your equity, and then you can look at some of those other things. It's not always as easy as people think it is to get a renovation loan and then move into this home and have to reno it, especially if it's your first home. Now, some people are good at that. They don't mind it, whatever. But for the most part, if you're working with an agent, ask them certain questions about VA loans. Ask them what condition the house has to be in. Ask them if the VA inspector is going to come out and who pays for it. If they say the VA inspector will be coming out and you're going to pay for that and blah, 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 stop them right there. There is no such thing as a VA inspector. There's an appraiser and there's a home inspector. They're two different things. Neither one of them are sponsored or paid by the VA. They are paid by you, the buyer. Now, the appraiser that is going to do the appraisal for the VA loan is trained to look at the categories the VA is going to want that house to meet. They're going to look at the roof. Does it have to be a brand new roof, Wayne? No, it does not have to be a brand new roof. Does it have to be free of leaks and structurally sound? Yes, Wayne, it does. It has to be free of leaks and structurally sound. Now, part two of that is the VA doesn't care about the age of the roof, but guess who does? The insurance company. So it all goes together, right? The insurance company is not going to insure you if it's an old roof and it's not in good condition. They'll give you a 60-day policy, but you have to have a quote and a letter of commitment to start that new roof before they're going to finance it. So these are things I could go on for hours about VA loans, y'all. It is my passion. I'm a veteran myself. I work with veterans every day. Make sure if you've already got an agent, that's fine. Just ask them how much experience they've had with VA loans. Some agents just aren't cut out for working with the VA. When I call another agent and I say I've got a VA buyer, oh, VA, I know right there we're going to have a hard time because that agent doesn't understand VA. VA loans are some of the best loans out there. They guarantee that loan. So the seller is going to get their money as long as that buyer is pre-qualified or that buyer has already gone through the process to be qualified. You're not going to have a problem with the VA. The thing is, if the inspector finds things that have to be repaired and the appraiser finds things that have to be repaired, they have to be repaired. One of the biggest things in this area for a VA loan is what we call WDO, wood destroying organisms, termite, mold, and wood rot. If you've got wood rot, the most common places here in Florida are the door jambs and the garage door jambs. That's where we tend to get a lot of wood rot. That has to be repaired. So if you're a seller that wants to sell your home and doesn't want to do a thing to it, then yeah, probably you can't accept a VA loan. But really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much. And I guarantee you can get under contract with somebody that's not a VA loan. They're going to ask for the same things to be repaired. So why not take a VA loan, get your home off the market quickly, rather than saying, I'm not going to work with VA and FHA. You're just shooting yourself in the foot for doing that. Anyway, that is my soapbox this morning. I wasn't planning on it being that long of a rant, but I've been running into this a lot lately. And y'all, let me ask you a question. As a seller, do you not want to sell your house to someone who has given their time and their commitment to our country? Do you not? That's what I pose to people all the time when they're like, I'm not going to work with a VA. Ask your seller, I say to the agent, if they want to deny a veteran of the United States, fill in the blank, a home for themselves and their family to live in and be comfortable. Think about that. It's going to cost you very little to work with a VA loan. Now, if you have a home that needs to be bulldozed, VA and FHA aren't for you. You're probably going to need a cash or a renovation loan. So I'm not talking to you. But if you just got a normal house that you live in now that's habitable and things work and maybe just needs a little bit of TLC, why would you not work with a veteran of our United States military? Question for you. All right, that's all for me. I have got to get myself together at 7 o'clock. I got to take my mom to the doctor today. And then I have so much to do. Tuesdays are a really bad day for me to have other things to do, because I normally meet with my team. I've already let them know we're not going to meet today because I don't know if I'll be finished in time. And we're going to meet on Thursday because we're doing our quarterly training, and it's also our yearly goal setting meeting. So that's going to be this Thursday. So I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of things. Always be kind. Cost you nothing to be kind. Smile. Have a good day. Take some time for yourself. I sat down for 2 minutes yesterday and just focused on my breathing, and it was a wonderful experience. Just rejuvenated and regenerated me for the afternoon. So do take some time for yourself along the way. This world's so busy and it's crazy, and hey, we'll get through it together. I'm always here for you. Have a good day, and always remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, be you. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right, I'll let you know how this hurricane thing goes. I'll start watching it now. It looks like it's at a point that I need to pay attention. Normally I don't pay attention. I just wake up and I'm like, oh, we're having a hurricane. All right, bye.